Welcome student for a webinar on online teaching and learning techniques. I congratulate you for getting into the pre-university education system. In this webinar, I am briefly going to give you overview about the university education system. In this, I am going to cover about the do's and don't do's for the online teaching and learning process, etiquettes of the online, and tips to unlock the new education system during this COVID-19. And I'm going to show you that how to develop a sustainable system, education system during COVID, even after the COVID-19 also. So I would like to thank management of RJPU College for giving me an opportunity to conduct this webinar. Because of some technical issues, I could not reach you live, so hence I am making this particular video. So let's look at that, the education before COVID and after COVID. Before COVID, it was blackboard teaching, now it is a virtual classroom teaching. All lessons were oral type, now it is converted into PPT based learning. Class tests used to be conducted by using pen and paper, now tests are conducted online. So everything was happening in person before COVID-19, now everything is happening on digital platforms. Online learning is not a new concept. From many decades, this is in progress. This is a tree which shows you the development of online teaching concept in India. Let's unlock the new education system. These are the icons with which you are very familiar, especially Zoom, Google Meet. So these are the platforms where persons can meet virtually and they can talk face to face. But total education system is not dependent on this. These platforms are only a part of it. So other parts of that I am going to discuss when I move further in my webinar. These are the some initiatives which are taken by the government to spread the online teaching and learning process. These are the some more initiatives taken for the digital literacy by the government of India. A survey has been conducted. So the survey says that through this online teaching and learning process or the courses, 93% people say that they got benefited and 84% people say that it has helped them in building their careers. The 72% people say that it made them more confidence. Out of these three, the last one is very important one. Through online teaching and learning, there is an enhancement of the confidence. So hence I feel you should take the online teaching and learning process seriously. These are some more statistics which will show you the growth of online education in India. During this COVID-19 pandemic, the rate at which the online teaching is going on, it has been accelerated. Presently, every teacher and every student is well aware about the online teaching. So these are the few pros and cons of the online teaching. Lot of discussion is going on on television or in electronic media, whether the online is benefited or not. So these are the few points in favor of online, few points against the online. Rather, I should call it as a limitations. Online can reach to anywhere, so we can study at any time. You can have a virtual interaction if needed. So it leads to the personalized learning. It definitely develops a self-discipline and responsibility among the students. The limitation that physically you cannot meet, physical activities you cannot work out. That is the major limitations of this online teaching and learning process. So internet issues are there because all parts of the country is not been properly connected, and definitely students and teachers require a self direction. Moreover, it is time consuming for teachers as well as for the students. Let's look at that how a sustainable education system can be made for the pre-university examination and university education. These are the components of education: teaching, learning, assessment and evaluation. So it should happen in cyclic way. Normally teachers teach the material or the subject. So that subject is to be learned by the students. So during learning process, some assessment test will be taken, like class test or monthly test. So these tests will help teacher and students to identify where they are lagging in understanding of the particular subject. Once the subject is over, then we have to evaluate it. Evaluation is to be conducted to confirm that whatever has been taught, it is perfectly learned by the student. So this happens for each chapter, for each subject. This is a cyclic process. It has to happen for every subject, every course, every chapter, every topic. So we need a system to carry out teaching, learning, assessment and evaluation. Just attending Zoom class, attending Google Meet class is not going to help us. So here is a classification made based on the way the education system is carried out. Number one is traditional one, which you are all aware of it. Last from 10 years you are taking the education under the same system. So now your time has come to adapt for the online system. The sustainable system will be the mix of both two, that is called as blended system. I am taking a online learning management system which will fulfill the requirements of complete education process, that is teaching, learning, assessment and evaluation. There are n number of different learning management systems are available. So we can adopt any one. As a case study, I am talking about the Google Classroom. Here you can see the administrator is supplying all the material online to the various clients. Those clients, what you call, note down the things and they are replying to the administrator. Let's look at one how this Google Classroom works. Basically, Google Classroom is a cloud-based system. So it means you need not to store anything in your mobile, whether it is for the teacher or whether it is for the student. So let's say that one teacher takes the class using the Zoom or any other app. So that is a virtually face-to-face classroom. So where teacher will explain the subject, it will reach to the students. As I said earlier, it is only a small part of the education process. So what are the other parts of the education process? How those will be taken care by the Google Classroom? Let's see this one. So teacher can send the material using the internet, using the different formats of the material. It may be in the format of what you call PDF file. It may be in the form of PPT. It may be in the form of video. Teacher can supply or he can distribute the material to the students, to all the student with a single click of button. Teacher can put a question to the students. Similarly, teacher can give assignment to them. Students have a flexibility to reply to the questions or the queries to the teacher. The another part of what you call during assignment, it may be online, even offline, that is you can write it on the paper, then you can scan it and you can send it back to the teacher. In this way, teacher can be connected to all the students, that too in individual one, by creating a classroom and where the students are supposed to join it. So let's look at what are the things which are there with the teacher. Once any query or the reply from the student comes, teacher can evaluate that answer. So if he finds some shortcomings in the answer, he can reply it. Even he can award the marks to the assignment or the answers which were given by the student. He can do everything on the online itself. Students can ask doubts as and when they comes in mind. During study itself, if they got a doubt, they can send a message to the teacher. The teacher can look into it and he can reply the student in person. This all communication will take place through the email in case of Google Classroom. For every activity, it means if the teacher distributes a material, if a teacher asks a question, if teacher gives an assignment, students will get a notification regarding that. The Google Calendar is also what you call attached with this Google Classroom. It will remind you of the last dates also. So whatever the replies are given by the students, that the teacher can individually evaluate it, because for teacher, he will get the replies or any material which is written by the students in individual one. A small list will be prepared there where the names of the students will be there. Against each name, the activities of the students will be listed. So in this way, the Google Classroom is one of the best learning management system is to be adopted to complete the education process of teaching, learning, assessment and evaluation. The blended learning is nothing but it is a mix of traditional and the what you call online teaching. So traditional way, it is a time-based one. We deliver the content to all the students simultaneously and we move further without understanding whether the student has followed it or not. Whereas these online courses will help the students to repeat the material. He can watch it many times. He can read it many times. He can move further with mastering that particular subject. So in blended learning, most of the learning will take place on online. During virtual meeting like Google Meet and Zoom, you can discuss the questions. So this makes the student very active. So naturally students have to work more in this online system. When after COVID, similarly you can share the material on online. Student will go through that online material. He come prepared to the physical classroom. So where you can discuss it. The more focus in case of blended learning will be there on the application of the knowledge gained by the student in the practice. So where teachers can guide them more in case of blended learning system.